LifeSpirit centered clearing techniques and defense against dark forces. LifeSpirit.org. Index: Introduction, Prayer, Real Light Formula, 3-clap technique, Grandma White's technique, and defense against dark forces. I am a light, which is part of the light of all that is. Merkaba. Introduction. This is a technique we use when we feel the need to spiritually clean out our surroundings. See Defense Against Dark Forces for more details on the concept of psychic self-defense. Our technique consists of 3 aspects: clearing, releasing, and protection. Here is how we do it. 1. Get quiet within yourself. Center yourself. Gazing a bit at the solar real white light image above may help. Use the 3-clap technique, and then say the following aloud, if possible. Clearing and releasing prayer. I ask the God of my being, my higher self, to clear me, my room, my family, this house, business, property, place, humans and animals, our world, etc., of all discarnate entities, all dark forces, all separates, all satanics, all negative aliens, and all negative thought forms whatsoever in all possible dimensions and timelines, here and now, with harm to none. Bless them, send them to real light, to their highest place of being. I ask that they be removed from here, that they understand that this is my space and time, and that they may not return. I ask for protection from same and others like them, here and now, with harm to none. Bless and protect this space-time, and fill it with protective, real light, here and now, with harm to none. I, for myself and all my relations and incarnations, forgive them and ask that we be forgiven. I trust Spirit to include all that I have failed or neglected to include in this clearing, here and now, with harm to none. In love, I thank you all, in the names of all the powers of real light. So be it, and it is so. 4. If you are so inclined, you can check the need for a clearing and the results with a pendulum. You can also work the clearing before a sacred image, talisman, or rune, light a candle, burn sacred sage, or do whatever moves you. 5. Utilize the formula of the real light for further protection. The divine always answers prayers for spiritual protection. Love always prevails. 3-clap technique. This is an old technique to dispel negativity. Used when confronted with any form of negativity, including fears, thoughts, images, external manifestations, or whatever. Just take a deep breath and clap or snap sharply and quickly 3 times. 3 dots have the same salutary effect. Take another deep breath. Know you are free. Thereafter, use the clearing prayer. Grandma White's clearing technique. Removing the evil eye. My grandmother, whom my generation called Amma, and my son's generation called Grandma White due to her hair color, knew a bit of what was probably a family tradition of folk magic, what the local priest would probably have called superstition. I recently recalled several incidents from my childhood, over a half a century ago, which I can now interpret as a clearing technique. She called it removing the evil eye. To do this, she would recite a prayer and then make a motion with her hand, making a sound by snapping her middle finger across her forefinger, crossing and uncrossing the fingers, being a way of cutting the connection, if one views the evil eye as a type of connection, or as the Huna would have it, an Akka cord, allowing negative thoughts to flow and have access. The technique disrupted the connection and allowed for normalization of the energetic environment. Defense against dark forces. We have always affirmed that the multiverse is a friendly place with which we are frequency specific. Quote, and when you trod through the door, you will find friends. End quote, Book of Illuminations. And that affirmation is powerful protection. Nonetheless, the brighter the real light, the deeper the shadow. Light workers need to sharpen their mental defenses against manifested shadow. The more you do the work, the more you need to be aware. Other people, consciously or otherwise, discarnates and negative place conditioning or energetics can all contribute to what one might perceive of as a dark forces attack, remembering always that every attack is also a message, offering valuable teaching. One can nonetheless respond. This response is what we can call psychic self-defense, or PSD. There have been questions about what is meant by dark forces. I sometimes use universe instead of God when discussing divinity, since God is understood by most to be Enlil, Yahweh, Allah, Iya, who I consider to be the false god of this world, or the demiurge the Gnostics warned against. He is the Anunnaki prince who has established the false light and the false religions of the Jew, Christian, and Muslim. I include Ea and his minions, negative people, negative discarnates, and negative place conditioning or energetics as part of the dark forces. I also include separates, satanics, negative aliens, and all negative thought forms. Remember, places can become conditioned to intended thought forms, as Dr. William Tiller has shown. Such conditioning works both ways, and the wise always consider the thoughts they are allowing in the places they choose to protect. For convenience, and as a preliminary map, we can divide PSD into 3 parts: 1, clearing; 2, releasing; and 3, protection. Each contributes a different aspect to a total PSD response. 1. Clearing, as expressed in the 3-clap technique, sets the stage for further protective work. It removes the immediate energetic problem with immediate energetic vibratory action. A more extreme example of clearing technique is using static charge to drive off obsessing or possessing entities. The suggestion that such entities can be driven off with static charge is found in Edgar Cayce's readings. A quartz sparker can be used at the crown point. Another way to generate a small static charge is with the use of magnets. The green, south negative side toward the body over the sternum and the occipital. This increases the zeta potential of the blood flowing by the magnets and produces a static charge. Magnets and or crystals may also be used to charge water, which can be used for cleansing and drinking. Toning right at the juncture between B plus and C minus, between B sharp and C flat, is considered by some researchers to be a real white light frequency of clearing and protection. Any harmonious toning or singing will impede disharmonious energies. Toning the mother sound, Om, is powerful as an initial clearing technique and also in sealing the work at its end. 2. Releasing is another part of the formal work, starting with some of the language in the above clearing prayer. Quote, we, for ourselves and all our relations and all our incarnations, forgive them and ask that we be forgiven. End quote. As the Hawaiian Kahuna have taught, releasing negativity starts with forgiving. This is needed to cut the energetic links, what Huna calls Akka cords, that allow access by negative forces. A more ritualistic version of this technique can be found in the Ho'oponopono of the Spirit on our website. Releasing is an active defense that removes the frequency connections that may allow access to dark forces. 3. Protection. is the shield you leave in place to prevent further access by dark forces. Any ritual, charging, or meditation technique can be used to set the guards. We choose to use the formula of the real light to create a globe of impenetrable light. We have also established the LifeSpirit meditation path with crystals and sacred images that completely surrounds the LifeSpirit parsonage. You can focus protection into a ritual place, object, rune, talisman, image, or crystal. Vibrate your intent into it. It is your intent that matters. In fact, as noted above, matter and space may be impressed with intent. This is called conditioned space. You can see Dr. Tiller's site, www.tiller.org, for more information on conditioned space. Protecting your space is an important part of this aspect of PSD. It is also explicit in our clearing prayer. Quote, bless and protect this space-time and fill it with protective, real white light, here and now with harm to none. End quote. Magnets used as in number 1 above, alone or with quartz, can help create an energetic bubble of protection. You can make your own protection as elaborate or simple as you believe you need. Considering the feng shui of the place is a part of nourishing protection. So is your positive attitude. You must believe yourself to be worthy of protection, and the universe will respond by protecting you. Ultimately, the most potent protection is truly understanding that you are God Goddess in your full being, Master. There is no other. And thus, in the formula of the light, we further affirm, quote, no negation may enter our light, for dark may neither abide nor penetrate the light. All that enters our light, that too is universal light, end quote. Thank you for listening to this presentation of the LifeSpirit Center clearing. You can find it on lifespirit.org. Many blessings. Om.